Hey, good afternoon and welcome to Music at the Mint, brought to you by the Jazz Foundation of America in conjunction with the Jazz Museum right here in downtown New Orleans. How's everybody doing? Well, we're certainly glad you're here. It's great that we're here every other Wednesday, and it's great that we stream this series worldwide with the help of our Facebook partners, and we're talking about Louisiana Music Factory and Offbeat Publications. I'm Jason Patterson from the Snug Harbors down the way there. They asked me to introduce the band tonight and also give you a little bit of insight on the Jazz Foundation of America because, hey, they have done great stuff for our musicians. And you know, they've been doing stuff for us since Hurricane Katrina, and they've gone pretty much anywhere in the country where there's some kind of catastrophe or some kind of reason why our musicians don't get to be performing and getting an income and, are under duress in one way or another. The Jazz Foundation's right there for them. And so we thank them so much. In fact, if you happen to be up in front of a computer, you could check it out at jazzfoundation.org and see all the things that this organization does. And by golly, there's a donation button there if you want to check your spare change and make a little contribution. Then they can do even more for musicians because, hey, I think it's important that we help and support our musicians, huh? You think so? You think that's worth our while? It is. It is. So it's so great that they help them in housing and legal aid and even present shows like this one we have today. So we want to thank the Jazz Foundation for being here for us for so long. Hey, today we have a wonderful, wonderful presentation. Don Paul has been in our community and being an artistic expression for years now, and he's got a relatively new album out, and it's great to have them here today. So please put your hands together for Don Paul and Rivers Answers Moons.
So how about a hand for Jason Patterson and Snug Harbor forever, talking about institutions that have helped people forever. So it's all true about the Jazz Foundation of America, and the first piece we're going to do today is a tribute to Tim Green. And I got to know Roger Lewis on saxophones and Kirk Joseph on sousaphone of Don Paul and Rivers Answer Moons because they came to help any way they could the relatives and estate of Tim Green after Tim's sudden passing in 2014. So that was, in some ways, the inception of this band. That's Alexey Marti on percussion. That's Herman LeBeaux on the drums. That's Mr. Don Vappie on guitar and banjo. It's a really great band. So we're going to begin with Tim Green, and then we'll do 5 tracks from our album, Louisiana Stories. And we'll conclude with a tribute to Kid Jordan and Hamiet Bluiett that we actually first performed here 10 years ago during a benefit for the Louis Armstrong Satchmo Jazz Camp. So, Tim Green. Some people are constituted to give and give and give. Tim Green, with one of his saxophones, like a spout, or straighten skyward to engage the most vital sympathy and expression from his horn. His aura was like Charles Neville's in becoming Oriole. Tim knew that as an artist, his charge was like that carried by Milford Graves and Sonny Murray from Charlie and Dizzy and their forebears. Give, give, give. To live, live, live. You're being too a laser that can vibrate with the greatest sympathy and expression. Tim was also an activist for his communities. He was general manager of WWOZ and of WRBH in New Orleans. He rolled with the roiling of somehow impoverished WWOZ. He gave so the sightless could see through WRBH. He drew from his earnings on tour with Peter Gabriel and Stevie Nicks to sustain both stations and musicians. He passed along instruments to students who wanted to be like him. Tim stayed now, like mentors and peers. He was the moment, forever demanding you bend like a spout and straighten skyward, all in and all out. He knew rivers. He knew ragas. Tim always made the music better. Say Johnny and Helen, Cyril and Claude, Mike and James, Jonathan, Anders, Kirk, Roger, Aurora, and Amra. Some people are constituted so that they and we be most fulfilled. Thank you very much. the band created that on Monday. So now we're going to really shift gears to a kind of a groove song called Get Your Jam On that was inspired by a friend and her energy bar, Jam Bar. The friend is Jennifer Maxwell, who founded Power Bar with her husband back in the late 80s and brought out these jam bars around 2021. She's a drummer herself. Jam Bar supports about 20 musical organizations, and they've been a big help to Maurice's and my and our partners in Haiti. Provided over 3,000 jam bars to students in Haiti. So we're gonna try to get our jam on. Get your jam on. Get your jam on. Get your get your jam on. Get your jam on. Get your jam on. Feel free to dance. Feel free to move it any way you want. You know, that's what it's about. Getting your jam on. Getting your jam on. You, right there, have a flair for this. And you, right over there, have a flair for that. Nobody can draw like you can see. Nobody can dance like you can dance. So you just have to get your jam on. Get your jam on. Get your jam on. You're going strong. You're going loud. 'Cause you know God and God made the gifts in all skin tones. All skin tones. God and God made the gifts in all skin tones. Black, white, yellow, red, brown. Black, white, yellow, red, brown. Black, white, yellow, red, brown. Olive green and in between. Black, white, yellow, red, brown. Olive green and in between. That's it. I see Benjamin Lyons there. He remembers the poem that Oliver Lake delivered 10 years ago. And we did a benefit with Kid Jordan. And Oliver's poem, the entirety of the poem was, hey now, hey now, hey now, hey now, hey now, hey now, hey now. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, everybody's starting to move. Everybody's starting to groove. Get your jam on. And you can go, hey now, James Joyce. Yes, yes, yes. You can go, hey now, James Joyce. Yes, yes, yes. Roger Lewis getting his jam on. 'Cause, as we said earlier, God and God made the gifts in all skin tones. God and gods are in all our blood. Our genius can create so much fun. What we do from the hands above and what our minds have grown, oh, we can get our jam on. We can get our jam on. Can we hear a little from Herman and Alexey, just alone, about the jam? guess we're gonna end it early and make sure we get in the whole set. That's fine. Did you have fun? Good. Yeah. What do you think about this band? That's what I say. So now we're going to do more of the album. We're actually going to take the first 4 tracks of Louisiana Stories. And I want to thank everybody who might have some kind of connection to the crazy success of this album. It's been in the top 30 national jazz albums for 8 months. It was #1 crossover jazz album for 9 weeks, and it's been in the top 10 among all albums in Louisiana for the last 11 weeks. So we're very, very happy that this album, which is an odd album, I would say, is being received like it's being received. The first track on the album is Louisiana Days, Louisiana Nights, which merges right into The Bands Are Bringing Everyone Home. Remember Mr. Lewis? Yeah. It's worth the wait. Freedom. Freedom here. Freedom here be like nowhere. Freedom here be like nowhere else. Louisiana days, Louisiana nights, rivers of dreams, rivers of dreams, rivers answer moons under ever-changing light. Sky of huge billows and blue catches sudden cool breeze, turns dark like Goya's giant steps and brows of hoodoos, cracks like alligator's tail on doors of dungeons, thunder, thunder and lightning, lightning and rain shoot to the flame, lightning and rain pour to the bowl, and the Port City's Opera, the Port City's Opera plays on again. Another morning to dawn, and the Port City's Opera plays on again. Louisiana days, Louisiana nights, rivers of dreams, rivers of dreams, rivers and some moons under ever-changing light. And the beats to this place, they never stop. You heard me? Yeah, you're right. The beats that put the funk and hip hop, the swing and swamp hop, the skips and two-step, the beats in branches and lawns that hum. You heard me? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. In Louisiana, 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 the bands are bringing everyone home. The bands are bringing everyone home. Oh, freedom, freedom, we live for it. The towns are twirled into sun and moons. Freedom, what we feel. Sleek fishing boats stand by walls of cave. Freedom, make things good. Hoods cast off, women, sugar and babe. We're not stupid. Freedom. And so what we live for, freedom. What we live for, freedom. What we live for. The drums on the square, quadrilles bouncing the stride. Freedom, freedom, freedom. What we live for, what we live for, what we live for. Can you tell us some Louisiana stories, Don Vappie? What do you know, Herman LeBeaux? Yeah, with Alexey Marti about Louisiana stories. What can you tell us today? And our trains keep a-coming. Our trains keep a-coming. The trains keep a-coming. Trains keep a-coming. The trains keep a-coming. The trains keep a-coming to the lights of dawn. 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 Louisiana, 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 Louisiana. We're here and we're gone. Freedom, freedom. Freedom here be like nowhere. Freedom here be like nowhere else. Louisiana days, Louisiana nights, rivers and some moons, rivers and some moons, rivers and some moons under ever-changing light. Thank you very much. Roger Lewis, Don Vappie, Kirk Joseph, Herman LeBeaux, Alexey Marti. We're going to do a couple of portraits from the album now, characters who really impressed me. Begin with Marcia's. And Marcia is Marie Cordier, a woman I got to know in 1980. Who really more than anyone else introduced me to black culture in New Orleans. So Kirk Joseph came up with the rhythm that began this piece by tapping on his sousaphone. Yeah, it was him. That's right. Yeah. Sticky War. March, Friday, in New Orleans. Near supper time evening. Got kids wheeling and chasing in their tennies along the aslant sidewalk and upgraded stairs. Got more friends and neighbors, and Marcia's kids spread at cards on the kitchen floor. Cheese, I think. Stepping over. Is this how black people live? Scouting out streetlit windows, by plants hanging and standing, and walls of luteus, beauteous, Marcia says, fall foliage. Nikki, Nicole, age 11, cries, Mama's home, Mama's home. Danny, Danielle, she'll tell you, age 5, hops out like a pixie. Mama's home, Mama's home. Nah, she ain't. Jason, the middle, age 8, corrects his sisters. He's right, but nah, she is. Mama's home, Mama's home. They rush to clean the 2 bedrooms where all of the apartments sleep. Marcia climbs the front stairs in her black boots, lacy shawl, white blouse, and flower-strewn hippie skirt. Her stature could be a great athlete's. She sits on the couch, eyes like a tired, brooding lioness. After asking her darling sugar puddings what they've done, how they are, they know not to press. Saturday morning, Cece, one brother and a friend in from Biloxi, are sacked out on chair and couch when Marcia gets up to wash clothes before putting in the morning at Ronnie the dentist's office, his handy lady. Sunday morning, it's SRO. Kids running, swatting, spatting around Granddaddy Joe Cordier as other so-called adults figure out who gets who and what this day. More than once, Marcia says, I know everybody else here is crazy. Their energy centers in her, who calls friends boo, who similarly tells her children of their one and only beautiful mother in the whole wide world. Apart out of pride, like a plant herself, but strong and tender and most essential animal, mother, animal, mother. Go ahead, guys. Marshes. Again, Roger Lewis, Don Vappie, Kirk Joseph, Herman LeBeaux, Alexey Marti. Our second portrait comes a little before Marsh's 1977, when I moved to Louisiana to get to know the South and wound up as a roughneck offshore so I could really get to know the South. And I met, my first driller was a Cajun, or as he said, a coon-ass. Yeah. Coon-ass black and blue is what he said. Yeah. Jack Groves. So Don Vappie is the primary architect of this piece. Jack Groves, my first driller from Lake Charles, Louisiana, came up in the oil field, Depression times, when hands slept out by their lake or pipeline. A lot of people around Lake Charles played guitar. Jack did, and he swam across that lake every summer day, back and forth. If you can believe that, looking at that lake now. Jack met his wife while walking after supper. She was just a girl, 15 years old, sitting on a porch swing there. Her voice lilted through the honeysuckled air. Jack asked her, "Would you like to go to the movies with me?" They were married the next year. A young paratrooper in the Second World War, Jack afterward got to where he knew something on the floor, made driller, and worked offshore of Johannesburg, Iran, and Singapore. Strong, like a bull, his neck like Caesar Hughes, and his head like a weathered pigskin. of the era, Newt Rockney and Bronco Nagurski also populated. Jack used to talk about his best friend back on the pipeline, a Cherokee. That boy, get drunk, want to fight him, a circular saw. And as for us on the drill floor, Jack said, you worms just gotta remember I'm older and uglier and meaner than any of you. In our Houston hotel room, Jack would talk with his wife every evening after supper. They would talk about what he'd done on the job that day, her winter garden, TV stars, and about what time Jack would get home to Broussard, Louisiana, when this hitch was done. Offshore, Jack said, drillers and tool pushers smoke cigarettes and tell lies. One day, the talk got on to, Jack said, would you let your son marry a black? They said another word for black woman. I said, I'd marry the wife I wanted, so I guess my son could marry the wife he wanted. After that, Jack said, men I thought were my friends acted like I was black too. Jack liked Wayne Newton, Jimmy Rogers and his Blue Yodel, and Booker White, that old boy who was in prison for quite a long time. That Booker White, he could play and sing him some blues you believed. So Don Vappie won the Steve Martin Banjo Prize in 2021 or 2022. Could we give him the Mint Theater Banjo Prize for 2025? Yeah.
Give me a gig. I don't know why people in New Orleans don't dig the banjo, man. It's like, oh, don't start me, man. I'll get on my soapbox. But I just think it's interesting that we tend to, I know there's a lot of banjo jokes. I have the book. But I mean, it's really, a lot of what we do came out of this instrument and what the Africans were playing, the rhythmic things, the melodic things, the gospel things, all of that. But for some reason, we connect this instrument to Jim Crow. And it's not. It's a symbol of a people who have overcome a lot of stuff and still creative and overcoming. And y'all got to vote. That's all I'm going to say.
I vote for the Van. So, on that note, a very appropriate note, we get to do a poem about Kid Jordan and, to a lesser extent, Hamiet Bluiett. And as I said earlier, about 10 years ago, I was lucky enough to perform with those two great musicians, along with Alvin Fielder and Daryl Levine and Brian Maurice Kazare. Thank you, because I always try to pronounce it like it seems to me on the page. But great musicians, very, very lucky to be with them that night. So actually I wrote this poem to perform with them then, and it's been rewritten many times since then, last on Sunday. So we're going to try it out. It's called Maybe You See Horses.
Giddy up.
Who did that? Maybe you saw a horse race with itself on a pasture beside the river Calcasieu. Its hooves digging diamonds of dust, its croup and deck, and its shoulders back and withers, nodding and rippling with its effort and fun. Maybe you saw a group of horses play, tossing their heads, running and bumping, daring and biting and rearing into the chase. Glorious too, freedom and excellence for the horse and horses. For sure, you jumped from rail to rail along railroad tracks whose lines lay across the Louisiana prairie. Go, try, land on one foot, poise and hold if you could. If you fell, well, that was the game too. For sure, also, you climbed onto crates, stood by windows of blues and R&B clubs of Crowley to catch giant sounds of Illinois, Jaquette, Ike, Quebec, Albert, Nelson, King. Drums and guitars that shook bodies even more than floors and walls. Cardboard serving for soles of your shoes. Geese honked for Bluiett too, over the Mississippi, hundreds of miles north. Their V's, the formation immaculate. The bull goose honk, honk, honking. Its holy flame of nascent emergence over the system, the combine that would bar you from pools, fields, fountains, and keep such strong sounds down, smokestacks of gold. There. You know what? I made a mistake. I grabbed the wrong horses. But we'll get it. Their honking gong or clarion profound, their calls complex syncopations, their freedoms cooperative as their V formations. Bebop, 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 bebop. Charlie Parker from Kansas City, Dizzy Gillespie, Thelonious Monk, Max Roach from North Carolina, Kenny Clark from Pittsburgh. Met in World War II, New York City's accelerated everything like French Canuck Jack Kerouac of Lowell, Massachusetts. Bebop is a language, their genius and times, created through music, sped into lyrical flights and split-second turns. Even more came soon in the flow. That Kid and Bluiett Road, Joy Spring, Brilliant Corners, Freedom Sweet, a hum, kind of blue. We insist. A love supreme. Ascension. Unit structures. 5 spots multiplied. All for one. AFO New Orleans. Eric, Booker, Ornette, and Jane. Albert into Albert. Psychedelicized gypsy totem depths and heights. The whole United States felt like it was rupturing inward and outward, every year rupturing righteously as prophesied. Malcolm pushing Martin, Cassius become Muhammad, deacons for defense, river parishes into Black Panthers, women starting clinics, and the same women robbing banks. Poison wounds opening to heal. Vietnam led to Kemet. The River Niger, the Holy Flame, Liberation Armies. Staying home, digging deep, can be another front for grace. Wife and sons and daughters in school to pass along what decades bring. While still racing time with John Cage in Bartok's angularly haunting night. The students at Suno, confabulations of New Orleans everywhere, and the World Saxophone Quartet seated there. Europe and the world came for you, kid. Like you met Fred and then William and Hamid, Brother Alvin, fellow founder Ellis, family Edward, Kent, Christy, Paul, Stephanie, Rachel, and Marlon. Freight trains, radiators, calliopes. Something real and new that could come out of your horn, true as an improvising horse. Might feel one day when it hit the backstretch, and especially the home stretch, grand robe, dervish, firebird, leaping octaves or down, dipping into the lonesomest bent string. After fiery honk, being a cat who wants fundamentals locked, sure as home is with ones you love, but new as birds daring and singing by the lake and the pasture, pure, high as you can ever grow. Tomorrow, Kid Jordan, Hammond Bluiett, ever growing tomorrow. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you. How many here love Kid Jordan? We got many hands. Kid would be happy. Anyway, thank you. I think that's the end of our set. Are we at the hour, Danny? Wow. Again, thank you so much for coming and being such an appreciative audience. Louisiana Stories is for sale at Louisiana Music Factory in this building. And Louisiana Music Factory is the only outlet in the whole world that is selling this album by design. We don't want, half a penny from Spotify or whatever. So please check it out down there. We can come down and sign some posters that are quite nice if you do choose to buy an album. But thank you all for coming. And could we have one more round of applause for the band? Right.